Alright everybody, welcome to my MLB playoff predictions. That means the MLB season is over, but the playoffs are just about to get started. And by the way everybody, before we get going, I'm fully aware that my Angels did not make the playoffs, but I'm here to support my team 24/7, 365, okay? So I'm going to stay decked out in my Angels gear, alright? Okay. So let's start with that AL wildcard game. It's the Yankees and the Twins. The Yankees, they were at the top of the wild card for a majority of the season. The Twins, there was a crowd, like super crowded in the AL wild card, but the Twins were able to secure that second spot to play in this game. And it's Luis Severino versus Irvin Santana. But I think the Yankees are going to win this game. The Yankees is a more experienced playoff team, and the fans would know a more experienced playoff atmosphere. And the Twins have not been to the playoffs in a while, I'm pretty sure. And let me check that really quick. Alright, so what I found online is the last time the Twins went to the playoffs was 2010, 7 years ago. And I just think the Yankees have a better offense, and I think that's what's going to get them to win this wild card game and move on in the playoffs. Next is the NL wild card game. It's basically been Diamondbacks and Rockies for a long time. And Diamondbacks, I feel, are going to be the better team in this game. Greinke is on the mound for them. The Rockies have John Gray. And I think just the Rockies aren't going to have the pitching. They definitely got offense with Nolan Arenado, Carlos Gonzalez. I feel like I'm totally blanking on somebody. Charlie Blackmon. But yeah, I feel the Diamondbacks also have a good offense. JD Martinez, Paul Goldschmidt, AJ Pollock. But I think they got the better pitching. And combined with a great offense, like I said, both these teams both have great offense, but I think Arizona's pitching is what's going to get them the extra edge in this great offensive battle, and I think that's what's going to push them to the next round of playoffs, and I think the Diamondbacks are moving on. Alright, with the Yankees being the winners of the wild card, they would be playing Cleveland, the Cleveland Indians, and I don't see them beating the Cleveland Indians. The Cleveland Indians now hold the second longest win streak in Major League Baseball. Let me check who's first. Okay, so yes, for a long time I believed it was the A's that had the longest winning streak in baseball. I know the Indians beat that, and they go to 22, I think. And but actually, the record that they did not beat, and who was number one, is the New York Giants at 26. But yeah, so the Indians had a magical run, like unbelievable. And their pitching is dominant, their offense is dominant, and I feel like the Yankees would have the Yankees are young right now. They are good, but they are young. The Indians, they have just, I think, a better team, and a team that definitely know what it's like. They went to Game 7 with the Cubs last year, and I think they can easily get past the Yankees, but the Yankees are going to improve in the future. So I see the Indians beating the Yankees 3-1 in a series of 5. Alright, the Astros and the Red Sox. This is going to be a great series. I see this going all the way to Game 5 easily. And I think the Astros are going to be the ones moving on. The Astros had a great year. They kind of started going downhill as the season went on, but still a good team. They have great pitching. They added Verlander, and don't get me wrong, I mean, the Red Sox have Chris Sale, who had 300-plus strikeouts this year. But I still think the Astros are going to be the team that moves on. I think this is going to Game 5. I think the Astros are going to win in 3-2. Now, the Diamondbacks, with that wild card win, would be playing the Dodgers. And the Dodgers are also having a magical season. They did have that run where they went on that super long win streak, 11 games, I think, 11 or 12. And that, everybody started freaking out. But I think they'll do fine. But here's the thing, though. They struggled mightily against the Rockies and the Diamondbacks. So whoever wins that wildcard game, I say Diamondbacks. I think it's not just going to be easy, like smooth sailing for the Dodgers. They played a lot of good games this year, and the Diamondbacks actually beat them quite a bit. And but I think the Dodgers will move on. I think they are the better team. And although I think Arizona will give them a good fight. And but I think the Dodgers are going to beat Arizona, moving on in 5 games, winning 3-2 in the series. The Nationals and last year's World Series champions, the Cubs. So obviously the Cubs know what it's like. They've won it all. It took them 108 years to do it again, but they've won it all. And this team is young, and the Nationals are very good. I feel like the Nationals are there every year, so they definitely know what playoffs are like, but they're not clicking to move all the way up there. And I think this year, the Cubs did not have as good as a year as they did last year. And the Nationals, I see them beating them. I see the Nationals moving on. And with Scherzer and freaking Strasburg, Harper, Ryan Zimmerman had a great year. And many other Nationals. And I think they're the better team. And I think they're going to finally get moving more forward in the playoffs. But this is also going to Game 5, I feel like. And I feel like they're going to win 3-2 in the series. Alright, I said the Indians would move on. And I said the Astros would move on. And here's what I see in that. Okay, so the Indians, like I said, magical year towards the end. And a great year anyways. And Houston, I just don't see them being able to get past that magic. Houston is young with Correa and Bregman and others, Springer. And yeah, they're a young team. Altuve at the front of all that. But I think the Indians, like I said, there's something about them this year. Last year, I didn't see this with them. Last year, I did not see this magic, but I feel like there's a magic with this team. And I feel like the Indians will beat the Astros in 6 games out of this possible 7. And I think it's going to be the Indians winning 4, obviously, to move on. And I think Houston will get 2 out of them, but ultimately, the Indians moving on. Okay, I said it would be the Dodgers and the Nationals. And the Dodgers, I feel like, are going to be the great team they've been. They freaking 100-plus wins. The Nationals, like I said, I talked them up. They're a good team. They are. But both of these teams always make it to the playoffs, it seems like, in recent times. And then they're just never that final push all the way to the World Series. So I have them both going against each other, and only one can do that. One can finally get it all the way there. And I think that's going to be the Dodgers. I feel like the Dodgers have great pitching. They would need Kershaw to be good in the postseason. There's been times where he has not. And they would need them to just be themselves. If the Dodgers can do that, I see them beating the Nationals in 5, obviously winning 4, and the Nationals winning 1. All right, the big one, the World Series, where the best NL team meets the best AL team and see who wins it all, who is the best. And I think it's going to be Dodgers and Indians. Okay, both of these teams, I think, had magical years. Both. You already heard me say it about the Indians, and the Dodgers obviously did too. Crazy games throughout the whole season played by both teams. Great pitching on both teams. But only one will stand tall at the end of all this. And I feel like Cleveland kind of has the edge in offense. Just a bit though, just a bit. But I feel like the Dodgers are a more complete team. And I feel like they are going to win the World Series this year. I finally feel like this is the Dodgers' year. I'm an Angels fan. That's a little hard for me to say, but it's true. I mean, I will give a team its credit where it's due. And I feel like, yeah, they're going all the way. And I feel like they're going to beat the Indians. And for all my Dodger Films friends and crew, there you go. I feel like the Dodgers have got it this year. And, yeah, the Indians are going to give them a fight, though. I feel like that's going to happen. And I think it's definitely going to go to 7. Definitely going to Game 7. I seriously think it would have to with these two teams, Dodgers and Indians. So it would be Dodgers winning 4 and Indians winning 3. There you go. I got the Dodgers being the champions of baseball this year. And Indians, I'm sorry, like, that's what I see. And 2 years to the World Series and not winning it, like, dang. I mean, you could be the Bills, though, and lose 4 straight Super Bowls. But, yeah, so I think the Dodgers are going to come out on top. They have a great overall around team. And so there you go. Like and subscribe, guys. And I will see you in Kleschka picks. Hopefully you guys are watching those and liking that. See you next time.